All right, Rob, everybody, it seems, is weighing in on the Last Dance documentary about Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls in the 97-98 season, their last together. You and I talked about it all show long yesterday. We had David Falk, who was Jordan's agent. We had Shaquille O'Neal. So we had some great conversations about it. And the always outspoken Draymond Green is another person who weighed in with his thoughts about it. He was talking with Uninterrupted, which of course is LeBron James and Maverick Carter's company. They put out a lot of great stuff. So here was Draymond talking about his thoughts on the documentary. And in particular, he compared it, like the way that they knew this was our last year together. He compared that to what they went through last year with Kevin Durant in Golden State.
That was kind of the elephant in the room. And although Steve would kind of hit on it of like, let's just enjoy this year for what it is because we don't know what next year holds, it didn't necessarily carry the same weight, because what should have happened was Kevin come out and say, hey, man, like, this is it. Like, so let's do this, or this isn't it. You know what I'm saying? But you can't just leave the elephant in the room, because what happened was the question came to us every day. Like, every time we spoke to the media, Clay and myself was asked about our contract. And it was strictly due to Kevin, because while that was going on, Clay was saying, I want to be a Warrior forever. Like, I want to be here. We started this thing. This is where I want to be. I'm saying, I want to be here for my career. We started this. We built this. I want to finish my career here with the guys I started it with. And then you kind of had Kevin like, I don't know what I'm going to do next year. Like, and it don't matter, but it does matter because you're not the only person that has to answer that question.
Rob, I got a lot to say about this, but I'm going to let you go first because I'm sure you do as well. So what are your thoughts on what Draymond said?
I just don't understand it. I really don't. People have a right to be free agents and determine. Everybody doesn't know what they're doing when you know what you're doing. You just said it. You guys were drafted there. He came over from there, right, as a free agent. Right. He doesn't know. If it was a done deal, he would have signed a contract.
He said he knew when you remember he was on the All the Smoke podcast, I don't know, a month or two ago, and he said he knew inside like midway through the season. He said like in January,
But you still don't know if that could have changed at some point. I'm just saying, and the only part that I really have a problem with, seriously, is if it was all about him and he was selfish and really didn't give a damn about the Warriors and their team, why did he go out there off an injury, Chris, and further to try to play for that team when a lot of people thought he was crazy to go back out there? Am I right or wrong?
We don't know. I mean, you're right. Did he do it for his teammates? That's certainly one way to look at it.
But he was going to get paid regardless.
No, yeah, it definitely wasn't for money.
It wasn't for money. So I'm just saying to myself.
Did he also? We know he's got what they call rabbit ears, where he hears everything.
I get all that.
That was the point of me and him. Our whole brouhaha was, I said, look, if they win it without him, it's not going to look good for him. Or KD, did he look at it like, because I hear what you're saying, Rob. It's possible he came back because, hey, man, I've been to war with these guys for 2.5 years. I want us to go out together as champions, and I'm going to put it all on the line. Or did he do it because now I can look like the hero? I can prove to everybody that they needed me, because that's been a narrative. Did they need him?
But the only problem I have with
why he came back.
That narrative is he won 2 MVPs. He took them to the finals. They were 8-1. Chris, come on, man. I don't believe that.
He was great, but they were great without him.
No, they weren't great because they didn't win. They weren't great. They lost. They lost in the championship.
They were 1-2 in the finals.
They weren't. That's why they went to get him. That's why they got him.
I'm with you on the other stuff. Don't tell me they weren't a great team without Kevin Durant.
They choked on a 3-1 lead in the finals.
He choked too.
Were they a great team in that year?
He was up 3-1
Were they great? Were they great that year? They
Yeah,
showed.
they were. They
didn't
were.
finish the job.
That
They
doesn't
showed.
mean they weren't great.
They weren't a great team that year to
They
lose
were a
the choke
great
down.
team.
No, they weren't.
They won
It's
73
an
games
entire
more than
season.
any other team
it
in
ain't
NBA
just
history.
the regular season. Stop with that. It's
You
the
stop
entire
with it
year.
because you hold the 3-1 choke against them, but you don't hold it against Durant
It
and
never
OKC.
happened in the finals,
It doesn't
Chris.
matter when it
does
happens.
matter.
It happened.
It does matter.
Narrative.
Championship teams.
Narrative,
No, it's
narrative,
not.
narrative.
It's never happened.
Be
never,
objective
ever,
about
ever.
it.
The Yankees lost a 3-0 lead. First time it ever happened in baseball. They got knocked over the head for it. They should. It had never happened in the game of baseball up 3-0. All I'm telling you is it's different from other series being up 3-1. For a team to win 73 games and
It
not
wasn't
finish
the
the
first
job.
round, Rob. It was the conference finals. You act like it was the first round.
It ain't
I'm not
the
saying
finals.
it's as bad as the finals, but it's bad. It's bad. You got a chance to win your first championship, and you're up 3-1 on the best regular season team in history. You don't play well in the last 3 games. Don't poo-poo that.
But it ain't
Don't
the same as
overlook
the
that like
finals.
it's nothing.
The championship
You never
is
mentioned
bigger.
that.
But it's bigger because I'm looking
I'm
at
not
a championship
saying it wasn't bigger.
up
I'm just
3-1.
saying you act like you
You
act like Durant is some Superman.
I didn't say that, but I'm just telling you about the Warriors. Don't act like they didn't need Durant. They went and got Durant because they choked. They choked down a championship. If they were that great, they wouldn't need him, Chris. They didn't sign him because they like him.
Just
they knew
because
that they
you
needed
lose,
him. They needed him.
I think they could have came back that next year
But they
and won the
didn't.
championship
But they
without
didn't.
him. Right. So we don't know. They proved they could win the championship. They proved they could run through the league
And they proved
winning
they could
73
choke down a
games.
championship.
They did. It could happen to anybody. And you're right. They lost. They choked. I'm not trying to wipe that away. But I'm just saying to act like they weren't a great team is ridiculous. They ran into LeBron James, arguably the best player ever. Kyrie Irving, another Hall of Famer. They weren't playing chopped liver.
But
Why don't you give Cleveland a little credit too?
They didn't lose 2 games all year, and to lose 3 in a row to end the season and 2 at home is unforgivable.
All right, fine. Are you done talking about Draymond and his thoughts? Because I got my thoughts on it.
Go ahead.
I get what he's saying in that, sure, it'd be nice if KD, let me put it this way. I'm a direct type of person. I think Draymond is too. I would rather somebody, if you got a problem with me, come tell me directly. You don't have to do it in front of the whole team, but let's you and I sit down, go to dinner or whatever, and talk it out like men, and then settle it and move on. I don't need you to tweet something. I got to try to figure out what the heck you mean. Instagram, I got to decipher some coding. Or you're just sulking over there when we got to work together. Let's deal with it like men face to face. So I get that's what Draymond's saying. That's what happened with the Bulls. I wish that would have happened with him. So I understand that perspective. But I think what Draymond is overlooking is that, Rob, the enemy, like Phil Jackson, Scottie Pippen, Rodman, and Jordan had a common enemy. The enemy, the guy that was going to break them up was Jerry Krause and Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner and the general manager. It wasn't Jackson, Jordan, or Pippen. If Phil Jackson had come to them and said, look, I'm leaving after this year. I know we got something good going, but I'm out of here. This is my last year. Maybe it would have been different. If Pippen would have been like, man, I'm sick, I'm sick of this here. I'm out of here. And Jordan would have felt like he's abandoning him, or Jordan would have been like that. Maybe it's different and they don't have that common enemy that they can all focus on beating, which was their front office and ownership. This would have been a player in your locker room, in the foxhole with you saying, I'm out, y'all. And that I don't know that it would have been as smooth as Draymond saying. Like if KD came to them in January when, according to him on the All the Smoke podcast, he realized he was leaving, I don't know that Draymond and them would have been like, okay, cool, let's go out and win one last one, right? Maybe they would have been resentful. And you make a good point, Rob. He could always change his mind. Even though he's feeling like in January, man, I'm out of here. He could have, at some point he had time to change his mind. So I think that's something that Draymond is not considering. Here's the one place I'll put fault on KD is he sulked. And he admitted it, again, on that All the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. He said, when I determined in January that I was out of there, I just went about my business. I ain't really talked to nobody. I didn't really get down with nobody. I just came, played basketball, and I was out. No, you can't do that. And that shows immaturity on Durant's part. He's always saying that to the media. Just ask me about basketball. I just want to play basketball. No, it's deeper than that. It can't just be, I just want to play basketball. You have to have a relationship with these players, these guys who are your teammates. For 2.5 years, you were cool with them. You laughing, you're joking, you're going out with them. You're part of the crew. And now all of a sudden, you ain't rapping with nobody. You ain't cool with nobody. We not hanging out anymore. And we're supposed to just overlook that and go play basketball?
Some of the greatest teams in sports, they didn't all get along. You don't have to be.
I'm not saying that.
You don't have to be
you're
boys,
absolutely
Chris.
right.
I don't believe in that. I agree.
I agree with you, Rob. I'm not saying you got to be boys. But it's at least if I know me and you don't get along, at least I know. And I know why we don't get along.
Draymond Green is the same guy who called out Kevin Durant and said, we don't need you. We won without you.
Durant should have said something to him.
No, but that's the guy who has a problem trying to figure out.
Everybody else.
I'm just asking.
I'm just saying.
I'm asking about Draymond.
Ask me what?
Draymond, he's the guy who's got a problem with it. He's the one who told Kevin Durant, we don't need you, the B word. We won without you. And now you're asking, he's supposed to tell you what he's doing? I don't get it, Chris. I don't get it.
Well, why is Durant, he feigned like they were cool. We saw pictures and videos of them walking in the shoot-arounds together laughing.
He just did what he had to do to get through the work.
And that's my only, again, it's the different personalities. But Kevin Durant holds things in to himself. He does it his way. Here's the other thing with that, Rob. I'll agree with you on this with Draymond. Draymond, to your point, is wanting KD to tell him, right? But yet, the way you got KD, you think him jetting on y'all was hard? How about what he did to OKC? And you were a part of it.
And that's what I always say.
So it's like when LeBron left Pat Riley in Miami. You got no right to be mad.
That's what I always say.
You stole him,
When a guy gets with or marries the girl he was cheating with, and then he's shocked that she's cheating with somebody else after you, right? How did you get her, Chris?
Right.
She was cheating on her man. She's going to be loyal to you, so you can't be mad. 100%. 100%.
Right. So I'm more of a straightforward guy. Let's get it out in the open. Let's clear the air and then move on and do what we got to do. That's not Kevin Durant's personality. I get Draymond wishing it would have been more straightforward, but I don't think it would have, Rob, if KD had come out in the beginning of the year and said that, I don't know that would have meant smooth sailing. You know what I'm saying? It still would have probably been drama.
I don't think that he needs to be said at that point.
If you know you can, the bottom line is it's your right too. You do have a right as a free agent, even if you know you don't have to tell anybody. And you can always keep it open. Maybe I'll change my mind. So it's an interesting discussion, though, to say the least. All right, we're going to throw it out to you guys. 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Did Kevin Durant owe it to his Warriors teammates to tell them he was planning to leave after the season? What do you think?
All right, let's kick it off with Coop in Seattle. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What you got, Coop?
Hey, fellas, how you guys doing? Hope you guys
Great.
are safe.
Yes.
Thank you.
And this is an odd call because I'm not mad at either one of you today, so that's great. The thing is, Kevin Durant, he had no obligation to tell Draymond anything. You know, after he dropped the B word on him, he had no obligation at all to say anything to him. I mean, and Draymond, and let me say this before I hang up. I used to love Draymond, but as soon as he got a little bit of fame and played a little, played okay, played great. Let me be honest, he played great with that unit. But I would really say that if he landed anywhere else in the league, I don't know how good Draymond is. But you guys have a good one. Stay safe. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks,
And this is not a call Rob and I disagree that much on. You know what I mean? This topic, we saw eye to eye on a lot of this for the most part.
Yeah, I just it's just weird to hear Draymond of all people saying, he should have told us what he was doing. You know what I mean?
Maybe you shouldn't have called him the B word.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, he's supposed to stay after that? Oh, okay.
Right.
I got it.
Well,
you should have thought.
I'm
just saying. You should have thought after that.
You bring up a point, Rob, because they obviously were close, right? They were boys. He's mainly the one that got him there. Maybe if they don't have that blow up in November, maybe, him and Draymond are so tight and so cool that he does tell him privately. I don't know. I'm just saying.
No, I agree.
Maybe.
And that confidence was lost, right? It was lost.
Yep.
All right, Jabril in Atlanta, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Yeah, I feel like he should have at least, told somebody. Even though a lot of people kind of figured that anyway, but I think he should have. Cause without them, we don't even know if he would have got a championship or not. They were solidified. They had their championship before he got there.
Well,
he went there for one reason, because he knew he was going to get a championship there.
Well, but the only thing is, it's not like he just jumped on the bandwagon and rode along and went to the parade. I mean, he was the MVP of the finals 2 times, so don't act like it was that. Stop it, Chris.
And KD is an all-time great. I will never take that from KD. I'm just saying, Rob, come on.
No,
it wasn't. He did work. He was the best player. He was the best player.
If he went there and he didn't contribute, or it was just like he was an afterthought or the third option, Chris, then I would buy into that conversation that he was for the ride. That's
Rob. All I'm saying is this: what if Isaiah Thomas, the great Isaiah Thomas, the legend, went to the Lakers with Magic, Kareem, and all that, and won championship and was great, played well? It's still you give him credit because he was such a great player, but you still would have been like, but I mean, they already were right with him. You know what I mean? Without him.
But the only difference is, and I get what you're saying, but where they were coming from, Chris, that's the only thing. I think you're acting as if that didn't happen.
No, they blew it.
Okay, but I'm just saying, that just put them in flux a little bit. I think
they still could have won. I believe, Rob, they would have come back the next year and won it, whether or not they got Durant. But
I'm not
that.
sure.
Yeah,
right, Watts in Louisiana. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Watts?
I called you guys last year when Draymond Green said what he said to Durant. I said, look, I've been on those teams. You cannot talk like that to the best player in the world, the best player on your team, in front of everybody. I've been in the locker room. I've been at practice. You can fight all you want in private, bro. But when we in the middle of everybody and on national TV, you're not going to talk to me like that and be on my team. Either you got to go or I got to go.
All right. Appreciate it, Watts.
That's a strong call.
What didn't he say that was true? And you knew it when you saw it. It's one thing to have a little thing, Chris, behind the scenes. I mean, that's as ugly as it gets.
No. The interesting thing, Rob, is, and look, KD calls cats out, right? He's called me out. He called Stephen A out. He's called just random fans on Twitter out. Why didn't you call out Dre? I'm just saying. And look, I'm not saying everybody is Tommy Hearns, and you're going to fight everybody. But you can fix that if you just stand up, and, I don't know. I don't know if that happens.